Thinking about moving to Australia in 2026 for work, permanent residence, or a better future? Australia remains one of the world's major destinations for skilled migrants, but the immigration system is competitive and increasingly focused on occupations and workers that Australia needs. In this guide, we're going to break down Australia Immigration 2026, including skilled visas, employer sponsorship, state nomination, regional pathways, permanent residence, work requirements, and the mistakes you should avoid. So if Australia is on your list, stay until the end. Australia? Why Australia? Australia offers a combination that attracts people from around the world: strong employment opportunities, relatively high wages, quality of life, safety, and established skilled migration pathways. Australia's 2025-26 Permanent Migration Program is set at 185,000 places, including 132,200 places in the skilled stream. The government says the skilled stream is designed to support economic capacity and address labor shortages. But here's the important point. Australia doesn't simply need more people, it needs the right skills. Your occupation, qualifications, work experience, English ability, and other factors can make a major difference. Pathway number 1, Skilled Independent Visa 189. One of the most attractive options is the Skilled Independent Visa, subclass 189. This is a permanent visa for invited workers whose skills are needed in Australia. You generally need an occupation on the relevant skilled occupation list, a suitable skills assessment, an invitation, and to meet the points test. The major advantage? You don't need state or employer sponsorship under the independent stream. If granted, you can live and work permanently anywhere in Australia and, if eligible, later apply for citizenship. But getting invited can be competitive, so simply being eligible doesn't guarantee an invitation. State nomination number 2. A skilled nominated visa subclass 190 is a permanent skilled visa that requires nomination. Australian states and territories have their own criteria because their labor market needs are different. For the 2025-26 program year, the government set 20,350 state and territory nomination allocations for subclasses 190 and 491 combined. This means you shouldn't only research Australia immigration as a whole, you should also research individual states and territories. Regional pathways number 3. Australia also has skilled pathways focused on regional areas. The Skilled Work Regional Visa, subclass 491, is a provisional pathway for eligible skilled workers who are nominated by a state or territory or sponsored by an eligible family member, subject to the relevant requirements. Regional Australia can be attractive because some occupations may have better opportunities outside the biggest cities. And for eligible applicants, regional pathways can lead toward permanent residence. Employer sponsorship number 4. Another major route is employer sponsorship. Australia's Skills in Demand Visa, subclass 428, allows approved employers to bring skilled workers into Australia when they cannot source an appropriately skilled Australian worker. The core skills stream can allow eligible workers to stay for up to 4 years, and eligible applicants may have a pathway toward permanent residence. For the core skills stream, applicants generally need the required skills, at least 1 year of relevant work experience, the relevant occupation, and English ability unless exempt. This can be particularly important if you already have an Australian employer interested in hiring you. Employer nomination for permanent residence. For some workers, employer sponsorship can eventually lead to permanent residence. The Employer Nomination Scheme, subclass 186, is a permanent visa for eligible skilled workers nominated by an Australian employer. There are different streams and eligibility requirements depending on your situation. For example, the Temporary Residence Transition Stream can provide permanent residence for eligible sponsored workers. So for some people, the journey can look like job, temporary skilled visa, employer sponsorship, and permanent residence, but the exact pathway depends on your occupation and circumstances. Which workers are Australia looking for? Australia's skilled migration system is strongly connected to labor market demand. Opportunities can exist across areas such as healthcare, construction, teaching, engineering, IT, skilled trades, manufacturing, and other specialized occupations. Importantly, Australia's current skilled visa processing priorities place higher importance on occupations supporting Australia's law enforcement and defense interests, followed by construction, healthcare, and teaching among other priority areas. So, if your profession matches an area of demand, you may have stronger opportunities than someone in an occupation with limited demand. English is important. If you're planning to migrate to Australia, don't underestimate English. Many skilled pathways have English language requirements unless an exemption applies. Your English ability can also affect your competitiveness in points-tested migration. So improving your English isn't just about passing a requirement. It can potentially improve your overall migration profile. Skills assessment. Another important step is the skills assessment. For many skilled visas, you need an authorized assessing authority to determine whether your qualifications and experience are suitable for your nominated occupation. The exact assessing authority depends on your profession. This is why you shouldn't choose an occupation simply because you see it on an immigration list. You need to make sure that your education and actual work experience match the occupation requirements. What about salary? Australia is known for relatively strong wages, especially in skilled occupations. But don't make your immigration decision based only on salary. You also need to calculate rent, taxes, food, transportation, healthcare and insurance costs, childcare and education if applicable. A high salary in Sydney can have a very different financial outcome from a similar salary in a regional Australian city. The real question is, how much can you save after your expenses? Sydney, Melbourne, or regional Australia? Many newcomers immediately think about Sydney or Melbourne, but regional Australia should not be ignored. Regional areas can offer different employment opportunities, and Australia's skilled migration system includes specific regional pathways. State and territory governments have their own nomination criteria based on local workforce needs. So, if your occupation is needed in a regional area, being flexible about location could potentially improve your options. Is Australia immigration easy in 2026? No. Australia has attractive opportunities, but skilled migration can be competitive. You may need the right occupation, skills assessment, English proficiency, relevant work experience, a competitive point score or nomination, an invitation or eligible employer sponsorship, and sometimes additional requirements depending on the visa. So don't believe anyone who says, "Just pay me and I'll guarantee your Australia visa." There is no legitimate shortcut that guarantees approval. What's new in 2026? Australia's skilled visa system continues to evolve. As of 25 July 2026, Ministerial Direction 119 changed skilled visa processing priorities. Current priorities place higher importance on occupations supporting Australia's law enforcement and defense interests, followed by construction, healthcare, and teaching, among other priority areas. So, this shows why immigration information from several years ago may no longer be accurate. Always check the current rules before applying. So, is Australia worth it in 2026? For the right person, absolutely. Australia can be particularly attractive if you have an in-demand occupation, strong work experience, good English, recognized qualifications, and a realistic understanding of the visa system. There are multiple skilled pathways, including independent, state-nominated, regional, and employer-sponsored options. But don't ask which Australia visa is easiest. Ask which pathway matches your occupation, experience, and long-term goal. That is the smarter approach. Final thoughts. Australia isn't simply a destination for people looking for a job. It can be a destination for people looking to build a career, permanent residence, and a long-term future. But success depends on preparation. Check your occupation, check your skills assessment, improve your English, research state and regional opportunities, understand employer sponsorship, and calculate your real living costs. Most importantly, verify everything through official Australian immigration sources before paying an agent or submitting an application. Now, tell us in the comments, what is your profession, how many years of experience do you have, and are you planning to move to Australia in 2026? Australia. Subscribe to the World Guide for professional guides about immigration, work visas, skilled migration, international careers, salaries, and opportunities around the world. Because moving abroad isn't just about getting a visa,